everybody. It is Friday, July 17th. It is the end of another week. Hard to believe. And I am just getting back to you with a final little short video on the finished product as far as the rocking horse restoration goes. So closing thoughts on restoring a rocking horse. It turned out really great. I'm really pleased with how it looks, and I really can't wait to give it to the little girl. I think she's going to really enjoy it. And I will show you the rocking horse, and then I'm going to tell you sort of how I put things together and some of the challenges that we ran into as I was doing this, okay? So let's go. Okay, here she is, finished up and ready to go. I'll give you a little closer look at her face here. Okay, so putting the tail part together was not too bad. Basically, underneath the tail, there was a little hole, and I kind of tucked the tail in, and I kind of reinforced with staples and some E6000 glue. And then to cover up any sort of loose edges, or, you know, just to make it a little prettier, I added some of these flowers, which were from the dollar store. And I really glued everything down. I wanted it to be rock solid, of course, because I'm giving it to a toddler. I don't want anything to come off and there to be any choking hazards. The little spindles down here on the rockers, these were where the screws were. So I filled the screw holes with E6000 before I put the screws in, and then a little more glue on top, and I covered it with these plastic gems, which are not coming off anytime soon. I did the same thing down here on the front of the rocking horse. I kind of filled those screw holes with some E6000 and popped a little pink gem in there just to sort of finish it off. Same thing up here for the bridle. It's glued on, and underneath that little gold rivet there, right on the nose, the ribbon is also stapled there, so it's right into the wood. It's not going anywhere. His eyes were looking a little bit dull. I guess he was, I don't know how old he was, but I mean, I guess they show their age too. So I actually thought perhaps if I took clear nail polish and coated the eyes, and it really did. It brought them right back to life. The part I think that was most challenging for this whole process was the ears and the horn and the mane. So I'm going to tell you sort of how I did that. So to put the mane and the horn and everything on the horse, now this I had mentioned in my last video, this whole ears and the horn with the flowers up front here, that was like a birthday cake topper that I ordered from Amazon. And it came on a felt base that was about maybe a 1/4 inch thick, so it was pretty stiff and pretty thick. And that created a bit of an issue because it was really hard to bend that felt over the horse's head so that I could staple it and glue it and reinforce it and affix it. So what I ended up doing was I took a pair of scissors, really sharp scissors, and I made a tiny little incision on either side of the horn here, like you would if you were sewing a corner kind of thing, so that the ears could kind of pivot down. And then I covered the underside with my E6000 glue, and I reinforced with a couple staples, which made it look really ugly from behind, which is why I added the flowers at the back. Okay, the forelock is both glued and stapled. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And the mane itself, I chose to do really quite different than any of the tutorials that I watched on YouTube. A lot of people recommend sewing it to a piece of ribbon and then attaching it that way. I cut my pieces of equal length, and then I worked in sections of about 3 or 4 pieces of yarn at a time, and I literally held the yarn this way over the wooden form of the horse, and I put a staple right in the middle of it so that there would be equal mane on either side. And then I would kind of overlap and overlap and overlap to cover up those staples as I went down. And I had to pull out a couple staples and redo them because I just didn't get them quite far enough into the wood, and I didn't want there to be any rough edges on this. So at the end, It was really quite cute, just with the mane as it was, kind of hanging down and straggly. But I thought, wouldn't it be cute if I put some ribbons in its hair? And I really think it's adorable. I think it just adds something extra to this little project. So this was my first time restoring a rocking horse. It was really fun. It was a lot more work than I thought. It just takes a lot of coats of paint to get it really solid and looking good, and you want to choose a really good quality, tough paint that's going to stand up to, you know, kids being kids. The rockers, I think they look great with the different color, and the little bit of gold shimmer kind of ties in with the horn and the glittery part of the ears. And I really cannot wait to give this to my cousin's little girl for her first birthday. She seems to like to rock. She was sitting in a chair the other day when I was visiting with her, and she was rocking, rocking, rocking. So I think she's probably really going to love this. So thanks for joining me on my rocking horse or rocking unicorn restoration journey. And don't forget to give the video a like, share it, and let me know what you think. Bye now.